There is not much to see upon entering Fort Reno Park. At first glance, the most notable feature about it is that it is at the highest elevation of any point in DC. It really just looks like a green park of trees and shows no resemblance to the war site it was in 1862. First structured to protect the Capitol from Confederate attacks during the Civil War, it is now a scenic park open for kids to play in, dogs to walk through, and even includes a small community garden. This garden, in combination with the small music stage towards the center of the park, clearly intended for local artists and musicians, indicates that Fort Reno Park is an open and community-oriented center, a stark contrast to its history of ethnic cleansing and destruction of Black communities. After the Civil War, the old Fort Reno had been completely disassembled, and as the plot of land was open to be bought again, there were many Black families who began buying land in the area. By 1930, the area had become predominantly Black and was thought to be a focal point of Black life in that area. The area was full of Black activists who thought to secure their children a school, the Jesse Lee Reno School. This was not easy and came with complaints from white neighbors who were worried about the school devaluing their property. The school was shut down in 1950, coinciding with the same time as other acts of racial cleansing in the area. White real estate agents and city officials forced Black citizens to sell their houses to rebuild Reno under the purpose of serving white law-abiding citizens, working men, well thought of, who sought to live a higher and nobler life. Despite efforts to fight against these racially motivated acts of violence, only 5 buildings from Old Reno sub-district remain. The racist history of Fort Reno is almost invisible today, with just 5 buildings as a reminder of the ethnic cleansing that occurred in the area. Washington, D.C. remains a racially divided city since the intentional destruction of Fort Reno and other Black communities. The northwest quadrant has remained a predominantly white area of the district. This map demonstrates American survey data regarding racial distribution in D.C. Here we can see a stark divide in the city's Black and white populations, where the white population is centered in north and west areas of the city, while minority populations are concentrated in south and east sides. According to a 2018 census for Tenleytown, only 0.07% of the residents were Black or African American. The last residents of the original Reno community were pushed out in 1973. The majority of Reno City residents had left by the early 20th century. Complete neighborhood change took several decades.